Hey, welcome to the No Drinks in the Booth podcast. Back with another classic episode and back for 2021, episode 23. As always, with me in the booth, Pavan Saki and Chris Watson. And as always, holding it down, myself, Wade Kadir. How is everyone? New year, new me, all that shit.
The best thing I've seen online this year so far is someone put something like, it's like a meme and it's like 7 days into 2021. I've had my free trial, but I want to cancel it already. I don't want a subscription. Yeah. I mean, I'm not that miserable. I'm miserable, don't get me wrong. But I'm not like one of those people that's going to be like, oh, 2021. I think it's going to be a good year. Better than 2020. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of pretty crazy already, kind of global news wise. Lots of drama already, but I'm sure we're going to get into that later on in the podcast. Am I right, Wade?
We are. We've got loads of reviews this week. We've got some really good news that includes Donald Trump, lockdown,
just
and
quickly,
Kim
I know all
Kanye.
that global news is really important, but most important of all is Wade. How are you, mate? How are you? How are you in 20?
How slipping into 2021?
How are you in 2021? That's great.
Good.
That's so great to hear, mate.
I feel like I'm numb to like what's going on.
Are you
I'm
numb to the rimming
to
that you're getting right now from Chris?
Look,
I've been used to it for a whole year of podcasts.
Don't get jealous, Pav.
I wish it could be me.
It's getting weird, but I generally think, I've gone a bit numb to like everything that's going on. I'm just trying to just get used to it, get on with it. We could talk about all the actual stuff that's going on when we get into the news, but me personally, things are getting a bit boring. I can still go for my daily walk and coffee, so I'm pretty fine. I'm happy with that. I walk every day, which is really boring but really exciting in this age we live in. I'm positive. There's vaccines, there's a new president coming in. Boris Johnson seems to have his shit together just a little bit more than last year. I don't know. I feel good. I feel positive. I'm trying to be optimistic. If the world comes crashing down, fuck it. It's like I Am Legend, really, isn't it? But that was set in 2021, by the way.
No, was it? Oh, that's
and
cool.
It was,
Fuck off.
And all the zombie things were because of a failed vaccination. So I'm just saying, get your shit ready, boys.
That's actually so funny.
Yeah.
Well, that's depressing.
Well.
Pav, how are you?
I'm doing great, mate. I'm kind of working on like an Australian time zone at the moment because I've been watching the cricket in the Australia, the test match.
Pav, you've been on an Australian time zone, mate, for about 6 months.
You know what? I kind of was like, my life was that anyway, because, clubs used to close at 4 and then we used to drink till 6, but obviously that doesn't happen anymore. But like, I've been like properly on it. Like at one point I was genuinely waking up at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon because the cricket was coming on at 11. I was like, I need some productivity time. So I was watching that last night. That finished about 6:30. That was pretty cool. Bought some new in-ears this week. That's pretty cool.
Exciting. Have you been watching the NBA?
Yes, I have been watching the NBA, and I've been like, I've started, me and my cousin, because we're both trying to make a conscious effort to get into the NBA more. Obviously, because not every game is on Sky, and we're like trying to get like more invested in the NBA, especially because there's absolutely fuck all to do. So we're starting this challenge from today that we're gonna listen and talk to each other about the No Dunks podcast, like obviously because they release every day. So we were like, we should make a conscious effort that if we can't watch, which 90% of the time we can't, we should make a conscious effort to like listen to it and like have a quick chat and be like, oh yeah, did you see that? But the Bucks have started okay. We've been decent.
Shaky.
Yeah, it's been sort of, I feel like everyone's a little bit here or there at the moment.
Besides my Warriors, we're starting to take full form. Yeah, Steph Curry MVP season number 3 is going to happen.
Yeah.
A big shout out to No Dunks podcast. That is a podcast I listen to every day. The best basketball podcast, I think, on the market, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some really, really good results. I think we spoke about this off pod. Like, there's been some really big results, and then there's been some really, really close ones. And we've kind of fell victim of that. We've been really good a couple of weeks, and then we've just absolutely shit the bed. I think we're like 6-4 at the moment, something like that. which is all right. But yeah, I'm living life, lads. You know what? I'm kind of done with this whole tier thing. I know we say this like literally every podcast. We have this conversation.
Well, that's really good, Pav, because there's no tiers anymore.
Is it not a tier anymore? Are we
no,
not?
Pav, it's a national lockdown.
Yeah, I'll be honest, because when Boris made that announcement, I was so numb to it. The fact that we already knew that it was going to happen. I was genuinely having a nap.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming on the 23rd of December when he announced the Christmas break. I knew it was coming. This is expected. I'm not surprised at all.
So the funny thing about this lockdown thing, I watched part of it just to see if I could still get a coffee, and I then spoke to Chris and was like, "Do you know if we can still go and get coffee?"
And we were like, "Can we?" No, we can.
Yeah, so
can we still go to McDonald's? Yeah, we can. Yeah,
we can. Yeah,
it's all good.
Paul, thank God for that. Yeah, so I had to read all the guidance just to find that one bit, then send it to Chris.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not. I think we're all numb from it.
Yeah, I've been smashing the coffees. My local Starbucks is open.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's good.
That's decent.
I think we should hold off on lockdown stuff because that is actually in the news and we can talk about all of that. But we have got What's Your Order back for 2021.
Boom.
Yeah, we're back, baby. Still being fat. Did everyone try that thing where they were going to diet for like a week and then lockdown got called and you were like, we'll save it? I did that.
I was never going to diet for a week anyway. That sounds boring.
Nah.
I was proper like literally just before lockdown started. I was like, I'd just started just before Christmas. I'd like properly started my gym regime. Like I was back in. Like I was playing badminton. Like I was playing footy with the boys. I was going gym a couple of times, and then like Christmas happened. I was like, obviously I'm not going to go on Christmas. Like I was like, oh yeah, well we'll start Monday, and then Monday never came.
Monday's not arrived yet.
Well, I never started that diet because obviously I enjoy going gym and I can't go gym and I find it very hard to eat very healthy, like when I'm not in the gym.
That's my problem.
So we got Chinese last night and it was great.
No, I had I committed what can only be a cardinal sin yesterday, is that I really wanted a Pizza Hut. Like I just fancied a Pizza Hut pizza, so I ordered Pizza Hut, but I had it with a Domino's garlic and herb.
Oh my god!
Wow,
that's like
the big one as well.
Oh yeah,
that's like wearing a Nike t-shirt and Adidas tracksuit,
which I do regularly, and I wear Puma socks as well.
Jeez.
Fucking hell,
out here.
You're a wild man. What's your order today?
Yo, what's your order this week? Greggs. So
Big.
I mean, I don't know about you lot. Let's be honest. No one's ordering one thing from Greggs.
Absolutely.
No one's went to Greggs and said, "Can I have a sausage roll? Thank you, bye." That's not a conversation that happens.
I have done that, but don't normally do that. If you made that on the reg,
if you just need a snack,
on a snack, you go in quick, 99p sausage roll, thank you. But
that'll keep me going until like if you're like going for like a lunch or something, but you're still a bit
we're not
peckish.
talking about those kinds of orders. We're talking about proper orders.
No, yeah. We're all fat, so we're talking about like big orders. Okay, let's save the What's Your Order stuff for later in the podcast because we all love that. Should we get into news?
Let's go.
Because we've got actually like big news topics. So, the big news headline, as you will most likely have seen, Donald Trump supporters storm Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. And Trump, because of that, is most probably going to get impeached, or the 25th Amendment will get invoked, so he gets taken out of office. He's also been banned off of all social media and some other platforms, including YouTube, Reddit, Shopify, Spotify, Pinterest, and Twitch. Yeah. So, thoughts on the whole Trump inciting a riot thing, and then thoughts on him being banned off of everything. The guy can't even order an Uber. So,
well, I mean, Trump's been banned off Twitch, and somehow Pavan Saki hasn't. So I don't know how that's possible.
But I'm not a leader of the free world.
I mean, admittedly, there's a bit of
the free music world.
In the choice of profession, there could be a bit of difference, but.
Are you saying I'm the president of the DJs?
That's a serious title, mate.
I'm having that.
Yeah, you could take that quickly. So what does everyone think about I'm assuming you all saw the riots at Capitol Hill and Congress and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on these? I don't want to call them protesters because they're not protesters. Domestic terrorists, because that's what they're getting charged with. A lot of white supremacists and stuff. Thoughts on them storming Capitol Hill and Trump inciting that?
So the first big problem that I have with it is it actually was a really, really big example of that whole, when people are like, oh, black people get treated differently, and everyone was like, oh, no, they don't. All those people that said, no, they don't, you shut up now, because it's just so true. Because let me tell you one thing, motherfuckers would have been dead as fuck if they were black.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. That's just a fact. There would not be bullets left. Like, they'd be trying to find some. So it was a bit mad. But, like, from what I've sort of been reading, I've kind of gone down the wormhole on this one a bit. And they're talking a lot about how, like, oh, potentially this is, like, obviously organised, kind of like an organised act. And they were saying, oh, like, people are being paid to do it. So it feels very, and I don't want to say this lightly, but it's the only thing I can sort of compare it to. It felt like very SS Hitler-esque. Because that's exactly what he did. No, he literally paid people to riot and break shit up.
100% agree with that. Like,
it's the only thing in history where I'm like, oh, it's kind of the same.
But it is the same. How it came together. It literally is the same.
It's
the only difference.
It's just Trump's not killing the Jews.
Thankfully, I mean, if he had another term, who knows what would happen? So let's just
yes, Seth Rogen, mate.
Let's just take a moment and just thank, that let's be thankful that he isn't doing another term, because I think it could get a lot worse than what happened last week. So
it's classed as an insurrection.
But literally, do you want to hear you were saying, Pat, that's extreme to compare him to like the SS and Hitler and stuff. Literally, the only, in terms of the timeline of events that happened that led to the rioting in the Capitol, the only difference is that Hitler, when it happened with him in the SS, is that he wasn't the leader at that point. That's the only real difference. Trump has been president for 4 years. That's the only difference between where Trump is as a leader and where Hitler wasn't. The similarities are scary.
So do you want to hear a madness? I was reading this thing excuse me, on like Reddit or something, and it like made its way into like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and this guy was saying, he was like, in fact no, it was on a tech Facebook group, and the guy was like, he's like, the thing I feel sorry for most is the techs. And everyone was sitting there like, what? What the fuck are you on about? Companies. And he went, no, like the technicians and like IT staff in the Capitol. And I went, okay, why is that? And he went, because like it's been infiltrated with people that are not authorized to be there. He was like, at any given moment, any piece of spyware could be put on any piece of tech. So he was like, really and truly, if they're going to be tech safe, he was like, because there's so much like private stuff on every single computer, like they're all connected to the same servers with the same information. He was like, potentially, and he was like, probably in the interest of safety, he was like, they're going to have to basically chuck out every piece of tech and re-put it in. And he was like, it's going to cost like over $100 million. He was like, literally, he was like, someone could put spyware into a mouse, like on a mouse and keyboard. And he was like, and then that can't be used. But he was like, no one knows, because obviously it's spyware, like little, might be like a tiny little microphone or something like that. He was like, we literally don't know what's where. So he was like, they're gonna have to spend the first like 2 weeks checking every single piece. They were like, that someone could have put a USB into a computer and like put something in the firmware or something like that. So he was like, it's just gonna have to get chucked away, basically.
That's crazy.
The mental thing is,
that's nuts.
So I've been to Washington and Capitol Hill, and when you see them images of Trump supporters and these domestic terrorists on Capitol Hill with their Trump flags and like smashing the windows, if you've ever been to Washington, to see how close you can get as a member of the general public, to see how close they got, is mind blowing. You cannot get nowhere near Capitol Hill. Like, nowhere near it.
It's basically, it's like basically the closest thing to Guy Fawkes. like bonfire night, like the level of like proximity they actually got to.
Yeah, and the fact they discovered 2 pipe bombs as well.
Yeah,
insanity. Like that's literally just weird. But
well, look, I think it's 9 or 10 days until Trump is out of office. He's already said he won't go to Joe Biden's inauguration. They're looking at impeaching him.
Salty motherfucker.
Right now, they're looking at trying to invoke the 25th Amendment to get him out of office. So the chances are next week we'll most probably be talking about how Trump's out of office. Thoughts on Trump being banned off of... It's funny he's banned off of Twitch, YouTube, Shopify, so he can't even sell his own merch. It's funny he's banned off of all them, Reddit, Pinterest. But thoughts on him being banned off of Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, the 3 big platforms?
The funniest one for me was Spotify. I was like...
Is he banned off... I didn't see that. He's banned off Spotify. What did Trump have to do with Spotify?
If there's a website that you need an account for, he's not allowed on it, basically. It's sort of the gist of it.
I can basically tell you the reasons he's banned off of Spotify. So he can't have a artist or podcast account. He can have a Spotify music account to listen to it, but he can't put
because they still want that $9.99.
Yeah, he can't put content for people to listen to. So like our podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. He couldn't put a podcast on there, and he's banned off of Shopify, which is a digital platform that it's basically used to sell merch.
Yeah, it sets up like people use it to set up like online shops.
Yeah. A lot of artists use it to sell merch. I know that for a fact. So he then couldn't put his Make America Again hats on there and profit off of that because there's no platform for him to sell them. Because even something that people don't get is even if he has his own website, which he does, you have to use Shopify. Shopify is the main platform most people, especially in America, use to sell. So you'd still have to use that platform.
Yeah, because you can't just set up a website and start selling stuff on it. You have to use one of these licensed places.
It facilitates, regulates the transactions and all this kind of thing.
There you go. So the same reason he's banned off of Google. He can use Google to Google stuff, but he can't use Google to upload a podcast.
How to get Spotify account without being caught.
Yeah. But what's the thoughts on him being banned off of Facebook, Instagram and Twitter? And to clarify that, if he uses the White House account or the POTUS account...
He tried to, didn't he?
They suspend it. They've suspended it.
They tried. Like, like the worst thing. That's like such a low-level tier like idea where he was like, oh, they're not letting me use my Donald Trump account. Oh, well, they're definitely not going to know it's me if I use the President of the United States account. Oh, yeah, that's going to work. Yeah, POTUS, isn't that still Barack? Like, no, come on.
Twitter have said they will unsuspend the account and the White House account either for information that isn't by Trump or once Joe Biden's inaugurated and the accounts go to him. But what's the thoughts on the 3 big ones, so Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, him not being able to use any of them?
Yeah.
Because that's how he communicates with his supporters, really.
I think 2 things kind of came to mind when that happened, when I saw that, is one is too late. They should have, especially Twitter, should have banned him when he started spreading that the election was fraudulent. I think that should have happened at the time.
Yeah,
that happens every election though.
No, it does.
Because the sad...
Not to this extent, but to a certain extent that... we've been talking about election fraud since Al Gore and George Bush.
Yeah.
That was huge. That was.
The one thing I'd say to defend Twitter is they basically said because he was inciting violence, that was why they have banned him.
Yeah.
The reason they put all them warnings on the election fraud stuff was because he's the president, they make certain allowances because he's a world leader. Yeah. So that's why they was putting like this information is false, basically, because they were trying very hard not
but
to
I just think it's
basically
kind
they
of...
were trying not to fuck off the president of the country that they work in.
Yeah. But that was the first thing. I just think it's... I don't know what the right word is, but the fact that 4 people had to die before they made the change is just pretty shocking. So, but it does give me... It kind of gives me some faith in humanity, because obviously the people at Twitter have decided that they could potentially lose people off their platform, because obviously Trump is known for his tweets. It's brought people to Twitter. That's why they've allowed it to continue. But it's shown that they've actually, look, people have died now. Like, we need to make a stand, and we're humans at the end of the day. We can't let Trump, continue with this because it could escalate. Anyway, so that's the first thing. But, the second thing is it's an interesting kind of demonstration of kind of power. So it's just crazy how you could argue that Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram and stuff, you could argue this anyway, but this shows to me that in some ways they're more powerful than world governments and the US government, because they're able to censor Trump, which is not the US Congress. Obviously for reasons like, it's a democratic institution, all that kind of stuff, so it's difficult to get things done quickly. But it shows that these social media companies have more power than governments around the world, the US government, global organizations. It's just interesting. It's almost like they have the ability to, they're saying now that some guys in Twitter HQ have decided on behalf of everyone that's enough. Like, that's enough now. Like, no more. Yeah. We're stepping in. And it's like, it's almost like someone coming in from above, like to sort the mess out. That's what it looks like to me. I just think that's very interesting dynamic of like.
The thing I'd say about Trump not having social media is he does live in the White House. The White House has a press room where he can put out any statement he wants nationally on TV and through world media. So it's not like, this is the thing that a lot of people are like, well, with censorship, like it shouldn't be allowed, all this. Look, I think his inciting violence, 4 people have died because of his actions. They should bar him off these social media platforms to stop this happening anymore. But if he really if he had to say, look, we've found the cure for coronavirus, or, I'm a cunt, or whatever he wants to say.
Yeah, definitely
that's the one we're waiting for.
Yeah. He has a press office and a press room where he can record it live on national TV to the American public. So it's not like you're never going to hear from him again. It's the fact that they've took away his social media, because that's all it is social media.
But still a big part of what he does.
But I'm just saying, it's not like they've took away his voice completely, because he has a press office and a press room.
Yeah. So I think Chris I think this is like a epitome of the pod. Chris took a far more optimistic approach in thinking about that than I am about to.
Here we go.
Because Chris was just talking about how like Twitter have banned him and it's like a great thing, and it's like them being human. I think it's the exact opposite. They have only done it because someone's got killed and they thought, oh shit, we look bad here. There is no way in God's green earth that they were sitting there and thinking, this is just unacceptable. That did not happen. It's a fact.
Well, maybe not in those words, but I think they must have. They must have had a conversation where it's like, it's more along the lines of, this has gone too far now. Like, this is out of control. And yeah, you're right. Like, they're going to sit there and think, this is going to look bad on us. And it would if it continued.
I don't think it's because they felt bad. I think it's because they want to save face.
Yeah. Which,
I think that's the one.
I think, I mean, yeah, it's equally okay, and it still has the same result when they do that, and that's just how things work. I mean, obviously they're going to do that, but it's an example of they have to do that to save face, because it's wrong that what they've done or allowed to happen, I think.
It brings up that really interesting debate once again when we talk about like racism in football and certain other stuff, where it's like, should the social media platforms have a regulator / be regulated in the same way as maybe the news, etc., which is what a lot of people, I know when I listen to people talk about like racism in football and like footballers getting like social media hate, a lot of them talk about how Facebook and Twitter, etc., need to be held more responsible for that, because ultimately it's content going on their pages. And that's yet to happen. They're like, because they always release statements like, oh, we're working really hard to make sure that these kind of comments don't get like approved, etc., etc. But it still happens in masses because anyone can make an egg account on Twitter and put whatever. And they still see it. Like, it's not like because they got 0 followers or whatever that they don't see it, because they do. So I feel like that's going to be really interesting if something like that happens. If something like that does happen, then I have slightly more faith in social media platforms that they're like care a little bit more, because a lot of stuff gets banned and not banned based on political climate rather than sort of morality, in my opinion. So, for example, currently, the world's largest free protest in the history of the world is currently happening, and most people don't know about it because it's being shadow banned in a lot of areas, particularly England. So in India currently there's a new farmers law that's happening, which essentially means there used to be like crop in India used to be on like a stock exchange sort of type thing, so companies pay the going rate, a bit like oil. Whereas there's a new law that's been passed that means that gets removed, so companies can just pay whatever they want, which obviously means they're going to lowball because people need to sell crop, because obviously it's only good for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, it's a perishable item.
Yeah. And there's literally like 20 million people protesting, and no one knows. But no one knows because the Indian government is immensely fucking powerful and are known to do this kind of thing. They're thought of in the same light as the current president is essentially our Trump, because he's a knobhead and nobody likes him.
Fair enough.
Like, except for those guys that are like really, really like extreme. You know, like you get the Karen Trump supporters. Basically, we have the Karen India supporters that like this president, and then everybody else is like, what
is the president influencing social media then? Is he demanding that social media shadow ban it? Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
so like him, it's a bit like the same thing as Trump. It's literally, it could be like we could swap them and we wouldn't notice. Like, it's like the same mannerisms and stuff. But he is best friends with like the 2 richest people in India who own all the big companies that buy all the crop, etc., etc. So it's almost a bit backhandy, but it's the same as Trump. Like, it makes no, like, the stuff that he does the same thing. It's just in a different country, but it's that same thing. Like I was saying, to sort of bring it back to Trump, it's that whole shadow ban thing, social media power. Do they need to be more accountable? Yes. Do they need to come up with some sort of system to approve and not approve of certain posts? Yes. And they definitely need to be a lot quicker on it, because it's like we've seen clearly now, it's generally not fit for purpose. When you know the thing that gets banned the quickest is women's nipples on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that gets banned. People are like, oh yeah, 4 people have just died on in the capital, but I can't go and see some titties.
Wow,
that's the level. It's a level that
it's a slightly different thing. I guess. I mean, I can see what you're saying. I do get your point.
No. I'm obviously taking the piss like to an extent. Like, I do get
your point.
But do you know what I mean? Like, we're like, oh my god, there's titties on Instagram. We can't go and see them. Like, fucking blur that shit or fucking take that shit down. But we're like, oh, 4 people just died. Oh, we might have to jump on this one, lads. You know, basically what it is.
I think whether they do it, to save face, which obviously you are right in what you're saying there, because they don't want the public backlash. It's now what's happened is that the scales have flipped, where the public backlash and the people's attitude towards Twitter is now the negative effect on the company from that is greater than allowing Trump to continue with what he's doing. Which is, I think, good, in my opinion. But the only last thing I'd say, I know, Wade, you want to move on probably, but the thing with I agree again with what you're saying about how you need to regulate social media and things like that. But the only problem with that, and the counter argument is that once they start becoming regulated, is that everything becomes politicized, or everything becomes, if that's the right word, or political.
Isn't it already?
Yeah, but it's less so than what it would be if everything was regulated, because then someone's got to decide what's allowed. It would become...
Facebook have already said that in both the UK and US election, they actively allowed adverts of false information to be advertised on Facebook, like per post to be promoted. So they've allowed that, like they've not checked that. If we look at something close to home like Brexit, how many fucking lies are on that? It was on a fucking bus, but they let it get shared because it helps their political interest.
This is the thing, when someone then comes forward with a new political idea, it then is up to Facebook to decide whether that's a good idea or not. So they basically become the gatekeeper. You know, kind of similar to my point earlier, where now, although it is just social media, the social media sites have stepped in. You know, it's like, where is the power here? Like, soon, I mean, I know, again, you could argue that they already are, but Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they're going to be the ones deciding politics, like what's happening in politics and stuff, because they become the gatekeepers. Should we allow that to be seen by the British or the American public? Should we allow it? Do we agree with it ourselves? Who decides whether it's right or wrong? That's the problem.
See, I don't think they need to be heavily regulated, which is a thing. And maybe regulation might not be the correct word, but kind of there needs to be a line and sort of a level. Particularly with political stuff, like they were very, very quick to call false information on Trump because no one wants Trump in power, but he's been chatting shit for like 5 years. And we've known that as well. Same with Boris Johnson. We know he chats, like the guy can't speak anyway. As a three, we speak far more eloquently than the Prime Minister of our fucking country. And that's like disrespectful. Like that's just bad. And we know that he chats shit. But they won't say that he chats shit until the Tory party is turned and they'll say, oh my God, look at all this false information on like Boris Johnson's Facebook, and everyone's like, yeah, motherfuckers, like it was there like 6 years ago when he was mayor of London. Like, you just jumping on it now because it looks good for you. I think there just needs to be a line. Obviously, like inciting violence, like Trump definitely should have got banned for the incitement of violence because he actively didn't go out there and say, guys, please don't do this. That's one thing. Like the racism thing is obviously a thing that we don't need. We all, that's not even a debate. We all jump on that.
We all agree with that.
I feel like we just need to maybe work out something. I say this very easily, like as three lads that listen to a couple of tunes and we're like, oh, I gave that a 3 out of 5. But yeah.
Well, that's me.
Bringing it back.
That's me. I give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. 3 out of 5. Oh, best song of the year, 3 out of 5.
I'll tell you, I'm going to get a t-shirt one day. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we'll have no drinks in the booth merch eventually. Okay, bringing it back, I'm just going to do like the final sort of thought. My final thought on this story is that, one, the internet and social media is still in infancy. It's extremely young. So does there need to be stuff worked out, like regulations on racism and stuff like that? And obviously where the line is with politics, 100%. But should we move on from Trump? Because YG said it best. So let's move on.
I got one more thing to say about Trump. The only other person.
Okay, then let's not move on.
I just got one decent one. It's not particularly.
Pav, just fucking say it.
The only other person I know that's got banned for this sort of thing is Katie Hopkins.
Yes, yeah.
She's go away.
Now that I'm looking at it more and more in my head, don't you think that they could be like cousins or like brother and sister or something? Like, just think about that in your mind, like them two next to each other.
Okay, look, let's bring it back home. Fuck Katie Hopkins, can't stand her. Let's talk lockdown. We had the OG lockdown, then we had lockdown the remix. Now we've got lockdown 3.0, the third installment in the trilogy of lockdowns. We are fucking in lockdown, all three of us, the whole country of England and the United
not just
Kingdom.
Us three. If you do a podcast about music, stay at home.
Well, no, I mean like all us three where we live. The whole of the UK is in lockdown. Through devolved nations, they've all got their own sort of slight different version of it, but the whole UK is in lockdown. My whole thing with this and the thoughts that I want from you is this too little too late? Because we've finally banned people coming into the country without a negative coronavirus test. A year too late, personally, in my opinion. The schools are shut, which I think is mostly good, bad for the education system, but good for public health. Do we think it's too little too late? Do we think it's going to work? We've got vaccines coming, normal life we can see it. We can see the festivals. We can see hugging someone, going to a restaurant. But have they fucked it by letting people mix over Christmas? And now are they trying to make up for their mistakes? Because the ad campaigns I see is don't go outside, you'll kill someone type stuff.
Yeah, it's got very dark, hasn't it, recently, the adverts? Basically, all the adverts now are, do you really want to kill your Nando? They're like, they've taken that like level. I think it's, you know what? Like the flight thing really fucked me off. Because I was like, oh, so you mean that thing that every country did
that
1 year ago?
Sorry,
should we bring that in?
I know you're saying the same thing, but for me, that is actually among a few other things, but really the single biggest, I think, mistake that was made is that I saw, it was last week, and they were saying, you know, with the new lockdown, the UK has stopped all entry into the UK, and unless you have a negative COVID test, that's the regulations.
Yeah.
And I read that, and I was like, I wasn't like, oh, that's good. I was like, how is this being announced now? It's January 2021. And this thing started in like March 2020. I don't understand how this is now a news story. I think that's just the most shocking.
We're basically just
thing.
Whatever Dubai does, we do it 6 months later because they are a London borough now. Is the thing. They're essentially a devolved nation. Because I just turn like any celebrity that's on my Instagram, they're like, oh yeah, so I'm at Salt Bass Restaurant in Dubai, and I'm like, oh great, yeah, cunts.
Sorry, can I? Yeah, I just want to chime in with that. Do you know what really, really fucks me off? Yeah, I understand that if you're ahead of a big international company, you do have to travel sometimes, and even during a global pandemic, you might have to travel. I get it. Look at what happened with Deltic and the Recom group. They had to come over. Like, I completely understand stuff like that. Yeah. But what fucks me off is influencers, Instagram influencers, Z-list celebrities that can't get club gigs, have fucked off to Dubai.
Fucking hell.
No, but it's true. They're fucked off to Dubai during a global pandemic. If I was to DJ an illegal rave or DJ in Dubai, I would get slated now. People would be like, that's irresponsible, da-da-da-da-da. But because they're selling some fucking black toothpaste and some Boohoo Man, it's all right.
Wait, do you mean all like the celebrity DJs and Instagram DJs that you follow, that you love following? Those guys?
I hate the celebrity DJs, and I hate these Z-list celebrities. And anyone that knows me will know that, because whenever they've been in clubs, I'm extremely polite to them. Unless they're a cunt to me.
Nah, Wade's that guy that's like unplugging like one side of the phono cable just to fuck with them to see if they know what they're doing. 100%.
Joe, I'm gonna look. I had to show you that I'm not a complete cunt to these people. So I DJ'd with Jordan from Ibiza Weekender at one of my gigs. He was like the headline booking, and he was the nicest, most polite, respectful guy in that club. Come into the DJ booth, shook my hand, shook the light jockey's hand. This was obviously pre-COVID. Yeah, had a chat with me. Said, "Oh, I really love like the tunes. Like, I was scratching sick. Oh, like really complimentary. Yeah, super polite." I said to him, like, because he was on at, let's say, 1 o'clock. I had like 2 more tunes to play. I said, "Oh, I'll do these 2 and then do a jump on." And he said, "Yeah, no worries, mate." Had a USB plug, like. We switched over like seamlessly. He did his set for an hour and a half. Actually, played really good tunes. Played some really great like dance and house music. Got the crowd going. I come back into the booth because obviously I potted around and went about and stuff. Really nice guy. Took it like I switched over again. Thing lovely. But I've met some other Z-list celebrities, and they've been complete dickheads. Like some of the Love Island people.
Oh. Don't be name dropping, mate.
I'll name drop him. I don't care. Fuck him.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't remember his name.
Let's start the beef, lads. More views.
I'll say it. So I think it was Michael. Is it Michael from Love Island? Mike? I don't really know his fucking name. He was like a fireman or something. Was in Love Island. He did an appearance at a club gig I was at. He was really rude. Thought he was the absolute bollocks. Now he's on an MTV show called Living the Dream, and no one fucking watches
just
that
not
either.
Relevant. Like MTV stopped being relevant about 10 years ago, which is bad, and that's saying something.
Now shout out to MTV, but that's shit. That and He was just an absolute dickhead for no apparent reason. To me, the assistant manager and the light jockey, he turned around and told me the song I was playing was dead.
Wow.
And I told him his career's dead.
Wow.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I don't
rate that.
Mate, I don't care. And the tune weren't dead because I was playing Travis Scott, so he can fuck himself. But yeah, don't come into my booth and be disrespectful, and I won't come into your celebrity world and be disrespectful back to you. Because without being a dick, I've DJ'd for celebrities before, and they've been lovely.
Just because you're famous doesn't mean you have to be a cunt, I think is the bottom line.
And the people that are famous for longer are not dicks. Like, they're actually all right. That's what I've found.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I met Pharrell Williams twice, and he was the nicest person I've ever met in my life.
I would if I looked that good and was that talented and was also that rich.
Yeah. And fashionable and had a collaboration with everyone.
Yeah. If I made JT's career, I'd probably fucking be pretty nice as well.
I just think it don't look just because you're famous, it don't hurt to be polite.
No,
so it fucks me off. They all went
the real
to
ones
Dubai.
that are famous are nice. It's just only a select few. Unfortunately, you've met one load. That's it.
Yeah.
Like these fucking B Youngs.
Oh, God.
Come on.
The really funny thing is, Pav's got like beef with B Young, and I've beef with like not Love Island, but the Love Islanders that are dickheads.
You know what it is? It's exactly the same thing with me. Where I was like, "You're not that famous, so I don't know why you're getting loud. Like, why are you?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't say anything particularly bad to me or anything. I was just like, why are you acting like you're such a big man, bro? Like, I was like, we're doing a gig in a 300 cap venue in Coventry, bro. None of us is looking good out of this. I just got bills to pay.
It's like Jordan from my Beef for Weekender. He was the nicest person ever, like super nice. So that's why I didn't want to tarnish everyone with the same brush, because I've met ones that are famous and they're really nice, ones that are not as famous and dicks. But it's just like, mate, manners don't hurt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, like we was in Coventry. The only time I go to Coventry is because there's a 24-hour Domino's there, and I might need a pizza. Like, no one wants to be there, but like, fucking drink your J2O and fucking mime your tune in it.
So
sorry, let's get back to lockdown.
What was that
basically
actual
Be Young,
news story?
Love Island, everyone on Love Island, and everyone in commentary tune out now. Like, this podcast isn't for you. Bye.
Yeah, it's a bit ropes, isn't it?
Back to lockdown, since I can't stand these people that fucked off to Dubai. Pav, thoughts on lockdown?
Thoughts on lockdown? I mean, again, my life has changed absolutely zero. Like, I don't like it. I think it's too late. I suspect, because I mean, I've been watching the cricket a lot. New Zealand and Australia both playing in their respective countries. New Zealand has been having full stadiums at the cricket. So like 30, 40,000 people, which if anything is more than normal because people come into like day one of test matches, which no one does anyway. Same with Australia. Australia are working on half cap because they've still got a few cases there. And they've still got a few little locally lockdowns. But to put that in perspective, they've got a local lockdown and they're still allowing third cap, half cap of these stadiums that are like 60,000 people, 70,000 people. And we're like, we're not getting into a stadium in the next 9 months. Sorry to burst anyone's bubble. That's a fact. Because they've already said that the vaccine's not going to be offered to everyone until autumn. Like, that's when the last few people will actually have got it. So there will still be that rollout that maybe even this year is semi a write-off. And we might just have to live with that. But I don't think they're trying to stop COVID. And I throw that one out there.
Oh, God. Pav, are you a conspiracy theorist?
This is not a conspiracy.
Is there a microchip in the vaccine and Bill Gates can
I don't care about that.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
I do care about it, but I'm like, fucking, I've had that many vaccines, like,
Pav,
I'll take it.
Please, just tell us your reason and do it, if you can, like, in a small summary.
Yeah, podcast is not that one. I think they profit so much more off coronavirus being here than coronavirus not being here. It's just a fact.
I can see that.
All these random like companies that are making billions of dollars that haven't sold a mask in their life just happen to be owned by Tories.
Yeah, some shady shit has gone down. Okay. Does anyone have anything to add to the Lockdown 3.0 story? Or shall I move on to lighter but maybe sad news?
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, I thought it did, and then you said sad, but go on.
Well, it is sad. So, Kim and Kanye divorce rumours. Are they divorcing? Aren't they divorcing? I heard this since they got married. Apparently they're divorcing. Maybe they're not. Do we actually fucking care?
No, to be honest.
Nah. It's in there because I thought I'd just try and put something that was like musically relevant. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Do I hope they get divorced? No. I hope they stay happily married.
Do you?
Well, look, yeah, because I want people to be happy.
Well, people could be in toxic relationships. Every single man that goes into the Kardashian family does get fucked.
Oh, yeah, that is the truth. I did say a happy marriage.
Yeah.
So, like, not a toxic marriage. Look, if they're happy, I want them to stay together. If they're not happy, fuck off separately, yeah? Either way, Kanye's going to drop some fire albums no matter what happens.
Yo, listen. Biggest plot twist of 2021. Kanye and Kim get divorced and fucking he does a collab album with Ray J. Game over. Game fucking over.
I think the one problem with this story and that is these rumours have been swirling around since they got married pretty much and they just don't stop. For some reason, they've just picked up like a lot of steam.
Do you think it's true? I think at some point it has to be true. The amount of times it's come round and the amount of times they kind of like, it comes around all the time and then they're like, I haven't seen, maybe it's just because it's not come on the news, but no one said, oh, no, well, Kim's tweeted and said this is like not a thing. I feel like they're like one of those couples that lives on the knife edge.
Yeah, the one thing I'd say is with this as well is it benefits them the more rumours there are because it's more Google views, more clicks.
Yeah.
For them. So like they're never going to come out and say, "Oh no, things are great," or "Oh no, things are awful." They just let people keep guessing.
Oh no. Okay, just me. Cheers, lads.
Okay, let's
Chris
move on.
would have joined in.
Nah, Chris don't fucking care. Let's move on from the news. Let's get into reviews. The first reviews of 2021. Okay. Oh no. Okay, you just said okay.
Oh, sorry. Were you still? I thought you'd finished the link, so I was like, oh. Yeah, we'll do the classic, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's really happy. Wade's got reviews. It's the first ones of 2021. As always, you can check out all the songs we talk about on today's podcast and previous podcasts on our Spotify playlist, and you can watch all the videos to it on our YouTube playlist. I suggest you check out both, whether you're just chilling and want to watch the videos or you want to listen to some good fucking music. Well, or good music, is it? That's what the reviews are for. Let's get into it. The first track, Notorious, Bugsy Malone featuring Chip. Pav.
Oh. I was actually playing Pro Clubs FIFA when this song came out and we had to stop playing because this song came out. Like, genuinely, the lads were like, we need to stop and listen to this first because we're like very into the Chip Bugsy beef. Unfortunately, the song did not live up to expectation, in my opinion. It got 3 out of 5 from me. And it got 3 out of 5 because while I thought the beat was decent, and I really liked the fact that them two have gone from like basically at each other's throats, like it got a little bit gangy at one point, to now making a tune which is sick. The bars aren't that great because it's that clubby sort of tune and they're fucking closed. So maybe if I was playing it out, I'd feel like an affinity to it, but it's not, so I don't. 3 out of 5. It's a Dubai tune.
Yeah, I'd say 3 out of 5 drinks, but I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 drinks because I think Chip's verse actually takes it to a 4. I think there was some cool stuff in there. So 4 out of 5 drinks for me.
Okay, Notorious, Bugsy Malone featuring Chip. I gave it 3. I thought the tune was good. I thought they could do better. Chip's verse is really good. The thing that let me down is there's such a build to this song because of the beef and all that this song, I liked it, but I just weren't like, oh my God. I was just like, it's good. Again, maybe it's because the clubs are closed. I'm sure it's being played in Dubai.
It wasn't a mind blow, was it?
No, it was not. Next track, Mazza, Slow Tie, featuring A$AP Rocky. Chris.
A$AP Rocky, I'm a big fan of. You got to check out his Oxford Union address if you get a chance. That's a great watch. I'm not...
Mm-hmm.
I think Slow Tie's obviously got that kind of cult following right now. I feel like I'm not fully I've not fully understood his music yet. I've not really got it.
You've not joined the cult?
Not yet. I don't fully get it, but the track was cool, so 3 out of 5 drinks.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same as Chris. I feel like Slowthai stuff is he's sort of in his own pocket, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you've got to be really, really into him to be like him. And I'm slowly growing into that direction. Mainly
I just
because
don't think I'm angry enough to like him. I think that's what it is. You have to be quite angry.
Generally speaking, though, Slowthai's bars are generally quite good, though. So it's like one of them. This one did get a 3 out of 5, but I'm starting to grow a bit of love for Slowthai.
Okay, Mazza, Slowthai featuring ASAP Rocky. I gave it 4 out of 5 because I think ASAP Rocky's verse was hard, and I'm a big ASAP Rocky fan. I've not joined the Slowthai cult, but I can understand why he has that following because he does appeal to a group, and his music and bars are actually really good. Maybe I've just not found the moment yet to listen to him. So let's move on. Saweetie featuring Doja Cat. The track is called Best Friend. Pav?
It's kind of like, I don't even know. It was all right. It's maybe it didn't hit me in the heart because it's fucking Saweetie and Doja Cat. It was just very average in my opinion. Got a 3 out of 5.
I thought it's definitely. I mean, if you want to say club tune, it's like kind of for the clubs. Mm-hmm. It's going to go crazy on TikTok, I think. And I think the beat's cool. I actually gave it 4 out of 5 drinks. I thought it was cool.
Ooh. Okay, Saweetie featuring Doja Cat, Best Friend. I gave it 4 out of 5 drinks. It's definitely a girls twerking in a club track. You know, like this comes on and girls are like, oh, that's my best friend talking to their mates. Like,
a bit like you, Wade.
It's that track.
A bit like what you do, Wade, when you're in the club.
Yeah, exactly. I point to no one because I'm in the DJ booth on my own. So exactly what I do. Or
Wade's in the booth, Batia jiggle jiggle.
Or I will point to.
Never have you say that ever.
I don't think. Yeah, when have you ever fucking said
that? Was so weird. I've never heard something really like that come out of your mouth.
New for 2021.
Jesus Christ. We need to use that in a lot of stuff. Can we take the audio? I'm going to put that in a sample.
Ringtone.
I can't even remember what I said about it. Let's move on. Yeah. Okay, next track, Galantis and Jake. It's called Dandelion. Chris?
It's crazy different from everything Galantis has put out before. And I saw from the YouTube comments and stuff, like their followers were a bit like, what's this? I don't know if I'm sure that the beat and the vibe of it is literally a few changes away from UK garage. I'm not even joking. If you listen to the beat, it's just a few changes and you're kind of almost there. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. It's nice to see something different. 3 out of 5 drinks.
Yeah, I kind of sort of agree with you on that one. I feel like everything's morphing back into UK garage now. I feel like anytime I listen to something, they're like, oh yeah, let's make like a house beat, but let's make it like a bit skippy. And you're like, oh, so you want to make a garage song? Yeah, but like not garage, but like skippy. And you're like, oh, it's garage, but you don't want to say it's fucking UK garage. Like,
I feel like Galantis as like what they've done so far, they couldn't really be further away from UK garage if they tried. So I think it's kind of like an accident, I think, this track. But it's not far off.
Galantis are like, Galantis are normally like, all right, have we got the pop piano? Yeah, cool. Kick-hat snare, yep, good. Female vocal, yeah, done. Cheers, mate. Fucking thanks for that. It's like it's like the top level of pop.
It's like EDM. It's like Tomorrowland EDM style. That's what they're known for. Love on Me. The other one, what was the one they did?
Peanut butter jelly.
Yeah. That's quite old now, I think, isn't it? That was years ago now. But yeah.
Yeah, whenever I listen to Galantis, it's from like a Now CD.
Didn't know they still did them.
They do. I just look at them every so often just to be like,
is it not just the Now Spotify playlist? Is it not just the Now Spotify playlist? That's what it is now.
Well, that's replaced. There was a time where I used to buy every single CD.
Yeah, same.
But now that's futile because fucking everything else.
Sorry, Pav, did you rate this track?
I haven't rated it yet.
Okay.
I sort of agree with the UKG thing, and for that reason it gets a 4 because the more stuff that gets closer to that, the better.
Basically the closest it can get to Craig David, the happier Pav gets.
Yeah.
Listen, if Galantis featuring Craig David happens, I'm there.
That's not as far off. He's already collaborated with Digital Farm Animals, which is in like the same world. So it's not unthinkable, to be fair. But sorry, Wade. Sorry. Sorry for interrupting. Sorry,
yeah,
mate.
you're next. We do that thing where we have an order of people speaking, and now it's you.
Cheers. Sorry, it's because sorry.
You were waiting to hear a number and be like, okay,
That's my cue.
but no one said like I'd already said it.
Okay, Dandelion, Galantis, and Jake. I really liked it. I thought it was really like catchy, super poppy. Like I actually really enjoyed it. Like I know it's not what Galantis do, but if they did the same thing, everyone would moan. Everything they do is the same. I really liked it. I gave it like a solid 4. Like solid.
I think
I really enjoyed it.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Next, Critical, Camel Fat, and Green Velvet. Chris, this is a bit of you, so you can go first.
Yeah, it was a cool collaboration. 3 out of 5 drinks for me. I really enjoy Camel Fat's album. I'm not sure if this is on the album or not. And the visuals for this were like straight out the 90s. And some of the visuals literally look like the kind of visuals that the BBC use when they talk about coronavirus. Thought that was quite interesting. 3 out of 5 drinks for me on Critical.
Yeah, I felt pretty similar. It was cool. Didn't blow my mind though, but it wasn't shit, so it gets a 3 out of 5. It's the first it wasn't shit, it wasn't great of the year.
Yeah, Critical, Camel Fat, and Green Velvet. I gave it a 3. I was really hoping it'd be better because like it's a really good collaboration, and Green Velvet is like a legend. It was good. I think this is one of them tracks that for me suffers with the fact that I can't play in a club. This would have mostly got a better rating if I could play it and hear it loud. So that's why it gets a 3. Okay, let's move on. Coffee and a Coke. PBH and Jack and PS1 featuring Hannah Boleyn. Pav?
I really like this tune. I just felt like I just felt it straight away. I was just like listening to it. It just caught my attention. The melody was cool. I feel like it fit in its own pocket perfectly, and so for that reason it gets a 4 out of 5 for me.
Ooh.
Coffee and a Coke. Is this song basically about Wade's diet? Just what you have?
Mate, it sounds more like you, to be fair.
I was going to say that.
What are you talking
You know
about?
what I mean?
What
yeah.
are you talking about? Oh, Pat, if you try and get us cancelled again.
It was absolutely not that kind of joke, but you've made that.
No, because I know you're about to make it, because that's what you do.
I promise you,
Scumbag, mate.
100% I wasn't even going to make it, because I was actually drinking a Pepsi.
Okay.
But you are the certified coffee lover.
I do like a coffee.
Yeah.
I do like a coffee. I think coffee is cool.
Get your mind out the gutter, Chris.
Sorry, that's coming from you. Wow. Okay.
That's the level of 2021.
Where you're lecturing
180.
me. What? Okay.
I'm hitting you with that Uno reverse card, bro.
Shit.
Yeah.
Chris, Coffee and a Coke. Talk to me.
Oh, right. Their work rate's cool. I think, Pav, I know you like this song. I think they're such great producers. I've heard some of their stuff they did last year was so strong. It's difficult to match that.
It wasn't how good is this song compared to what else they've made. It's how good this song was.
Big shout to...
Sorry. We know what Chris is doing. He's going round and round to give it a 3.
3 out of 5 drinks.
So
I thought it was a cool track. It was a good track.
Yeah,
It was a good track.
I just want to point...
I thought it was good.
I just want to point out, which I've just clocked, is that actually this morning, during this podcast, I have drank a coffee and then I did drink a Coke. It's a Pepsi.
Well, Pepsi don't count. Yeah.
Oh, Pepsi.
Okay.
Oh, cheers,
Pepsi bottle,
mate.
Coca-Cola glass. Right. 3 out. 3 out of 5 drinks. I told you.
We know you
It's
give
good.
it a 3 out of 5. You've given it a 3 out of 5. That's all you
3
give
out of 5 drinks.
That's all you fucking do.
When you
3 out
spoke
of
for
5.
more than one sentence, we knew it was going to be a 3 out of 5.
Guys, you know me so well. That's so cute.
I know. Okay, PS1, PBH and Jack featuring Hannah Boleyn. The track's called Coffee and a Coke. I gave it 4. I thought it was really good. I weren't comparing it to their older stuff like Chris did. I thought it was good. I thought I really liked it. I thought it was good. I like the vocals. I think it's a cool collaboration. So it was better than average. That's why it got 4. Okay, let's move on. Ugly, Russ featuring Little Baby. Chris?
Actually really liking this, and I've become... the last couple of weeks, I've been reading a lot about Russ and what he's done with terms of his being independent and how he sort of forged his career, and he released hundreds of songs or something before he even got any traction on one and all this kind of stuff. I highly respect that. And his music's quality as well. And as I mentioned, all independently released, a proper artist. Lil Baby, I'm not, again, kind of on that wave yet. I don't know what I don't quite get about Lil Baby. I respect his work rate because he's coming out with stuff weekly. I think I just need to do some more listening to Lil Baby. I'm still like not quite in that groove. Big shouts to Russ though, 3 out of 5 drinks.
Yeah, you know, I kind of feel the same with you on that about like Lil Baby and these kind of guys. I get the respect work rate, but I feel like they release so much because the quality is lower a lot of the time for me. And like, it's one of those things, like there's some artists where they might release 10 tunes, but you know, like really only one of them is good. And you're like, oh, well, the other 9 were just like, you know, those songs that just get like banished to the hard drive. They're like them kind of tunes. And I feel like he's one of those artists, which is why he's very hit and miss for me.
I've heard some good stuff. I do generally like, really like some of his stuff. I think if he released less frequently, like if he released less frequently, I think every song would slap, because clearly he's got tons of talent and all the rest of it. I just wish he released less often, basically, you know, quality over quantity.
Because I actually did like this song, and I liked the beat, and generally I like the bars. Actually, unfortunately, I didn't like the chorus. I feel like he was trying to do that thing where you sort of drag your words a little bit to fit in. Like when you write a lot to a faster tempo and then you're trying to write to a slower tempo, like a lot of grime artists have that problem.
Give me the rating.
And I feel the same. Sorry, I'm just explaining the reasoning. So for that reason, it was going to get a 4, but it gets a 3.
Pav, can you imagine Wade like running like a show like Graham Norton or like, you know, The Tonight Show or something? It would be absolutely ruthless. He'd be like, shut up, tell me about your life.
Don't tell me about how much you're enjoying the new movie that you got to do a fucking promo for. Tell me the story, and then you can fuck off and I need the next guest.
Like that. It would be ridiculous. It would be crazy.
I would, yeah. I would. Okay,
maybe that's why they picked fucking James Corden.
Yeah. Bit more fluffy.
Yeah, I weren't in the running for the late show, but fair enough. Okay, Ugly, Russ featuring Lil Baby. I gave it a 4. Didn't like Lil Baby on it, but I really like Russ. Yeah, I think I didn't really care about Lil Baby being on it, but Russ is sick, and I like this track, so it got a 4. Okay, let's move on. We've got 3 more tracks. Let's get through them. Slayer, Playboy Carti. Pav.
Oh, see, this one was a bit different. You guys know from the pod, I'm not an American hip-hop fan at all, or even that style, but this tune just had something weird in it, and I liked it. It reminded me a lot of that tune by Dram and Lil Yachty, Broccoli. Yeah. Because it has that like really shitty flute, and there's like a video of them making the song, and he was like, I literally asked the sound engineer for the shittiest flute sound. And it kind of had that same feel, like, because it was nice. It was like jolly and almost childish in a nice way. And for that reason, it got 4 out of 5 from me.
I actually was feeling this one. It's one of those songs, I put it in that box where it's really addictive to listen to. It's got that, it's all come together perfectly. Like the vocals delivered so well, the beat's sick, it all gels. And it's just that, addictive listening quality. And I know they're in like 2 slightly different worlds, but a song that went crazy that I also think has that quality was Old Town Road. It just has that certain kind of element to it that's like very nice.
It's got a bounce
and it's just very nice to listen to. Really like this. I actually gave it 5 out of 5 drinks. I thought it was really cool.
Ooh, wow! First 5 of 2021. That is.
Was it? I'm claiming that. Yeah. First 5 of 2021.
Fantastic stuff. Playboy Carti, Slayer. I gave it 5 out of 5 as well.
Oh, wait, we're so similar.
Great.
Oh my
God, we're on that wavelength. Banging track, really addictive to listen to, catchy. Yeah, I don't know. It's got that element. Like it's just got the element that makes
it's got that thing.
Yeah,
difficult to put your finger on.
It's got that thing. Yeah, it's got that thing. It's off his new album. I suggest you should check it out if you like this, because the album is very Playboy Carti-esque, which is like this. So 5 out of 5 drinks. Okay, let's move on. 2 more tracks. Adderall, Corvette, the remix, Pop Hunter featuring Little Uzi Vert. Chris.
I really like Lil Uzi's verse. I thought that was cool, and there's some really cool elements in the beat. 3 out of 5 drinks for me.
This one was a bit meh for me. It got saved by Lil Uzi, so it did get a 3, but most likely probably would have got a 2 or a 1 if he wasn't on it.
Okay, Adderall Corvette, the remix, Pop Hunter featuring Lil Uzi Vert. The original to this track is huge on TikTok. I prefer this one because it's got Lil Uzi on it. I think the original is actually quite good, quite catchy. Bar the TikTok stuff, I really liked it, so it gets 5 from me because it's got Uzi on it, and I think Uzi kills it. Okay, last track of the reviews. The track's called Bit Yeah, which means bitch ya. Mario Judah. But you might know Mario Judah from his track Die Very Rough, which is huge on TikTok. I included that into a playlist so you can check that out. But let's talk about your thoughts on Bit Yeah, Mario Judah. Pav?
Like the beat, sort of felt the vibe, but it just wasn't quite there. It didn't really quite sit with me. It is that one tune in the reviews that is the maybe slightly weirder, bit more left field, is one of them. Yeah, I did really like the beat, but kind of the rest of the song didn't quite come together for me. So it's one of those classic wasn't great 3 out of 5.
Yeah. Mario Judah's got a really cool story. I'm not actually going to do the classic story and then, but he's actually got a really cool story. It's worth checking out. And he's a very smart guy because he knows how to make himself into a meme. It's very clever what he does.
Yeah.
He's one of these artists where some of the interviews and all the extra stuff that goes around the music has sometimes got more views than the actual music, or loads of views. Clever guy, really clever guy. In terms of the song, I mean, some music now is just getting weird, isn't it? And it's kind of like, maybe I should just sit here with my mic and just kind of make like squeaking noises into the microphone and put it over a beat and then like put it out, and then I'll just save myself a load of trouble. Like it's just getting a bit weird. I have to give it 2 out of 5. I mean, it's not even got any lyrics. Like it's just, he's just making noises over the track. I mean, yeah, it's just a bit too weird. I think it's just getting a bit weird now. So 2 out of 5 drinks.
Bit Yeah, Mario Judah. Look, I gave it a 3. Die Very Rough, which is the track that people know him from, is fucking
mental. Yeah,
mental.
Yeah,
It's like he raps in the what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say so for context, I didn't read the trailer before doing the review, so I didn't know that wasn't a review. So I listened to that and I was like, what the fuck is this shit that Wade's put? Like, I know we do the weird tunes. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is like he's just shouting.
What, Die Very Rough? He raps.
No, you're talking about BR, aren't you?
Rap it is a very
what track are you talking about?
Die Very Young.
Die Very Rough.
Die Very Rough.
Or whatever it's fucking called. It was shit
Die
anyway.
Very Rough. Well, it's huge on TikTok. He raps as if he's like back in the fucking round table days, like King Arthur. He's got like, look, he knows how to make himself go viral. I like his whole "where the fuck is Mario Judah" tag.
Everyone loves that.
I've
got a friend of mine who literally loses his head. He's like, I love the tag so much. And the crazy thing in this BR track, that's the only actual lyrics in it, is the tag.
Yeah. Look, I gave it 3 out of 5. Look, he knows how to make himself go viral. I'm all about new artists, and the story for Mario Judah is really good. I suggest you check it out, like Chris said. Let's move on. We're done with the reviews. We got there. Track of the week, the first track of the week for 2021.
It's exciting. It's thrilling. My track of the week this week is...
Oh, Chris, yeah, you just go.
Oh, sorry, mate. I sensed the pause and I thought I'd just jump in.
Yeah, no, go for it.
You were
go
wrong,
for it.
but it's fine. Carry on.
Yeah, it works, so you do it.
Down, mate. Why can't you just lift me up?
Oh, yeah, because Wade didn't just shit on you, did he?
I'm used to Wade shitting on me. I expected better from you, mate. But it's fine.
Wow.
No, it's fine, mate. You do what you got to do. It's fine.
Chris, track of the week.
Playboy Carti Slayer, track of the week. Wicked.
Did you give that one a 5? Because I hope we're not doing that. I gave this one a 5, but I gave this one a 4, so it's my track of the week shit again. Like we left that in 2020.
I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, once was too many.
I can't remember.
Pav, track of the week. Track of the week.
My track of the week is Coffee and a Coke, because it's one of the couple of 4s that I gave. Yeah, pretty much. It was the best of a
Can't
bad
believe
bunch,
Pav is a
but
fan
it
of
was
house
actually a
music
decent
now.
tune.
What's happened?
And it, what I've influenced Pav into one watching the NBA, and I've influenced you into Disney Plus.
Yeah, big up the Bucks, motherfuckers.
I'm doing so well. Okay, my track of the week, I gave it a 4. I know I gave Playboi Carti a 5, but Chris picked it, and I don't want to make
Okay,
because
that's
Chris picked
acceptable.
it.
That's acceptable.
I'm going to do a different track. Adderall, Corvette the remix, Pop Hunter featuring Lil Uzi Vert, because I generally think in terms of the tracks, it went Slayer, Playboi Carti, and then Adderall. And because Chris picked track of the week for Playboi Carti, I didn't want to do the same. So that sums it up.
Fairs.
Okay, so we've got Slayer, Playboi Carti, Chris's track of the week. Coffee and a Coke, PBH, Jack, and PS1 featuring Hannah Bolin as Pav's track of the week. And my track of the week, Adderall, Corvette, the remix, Pop Hunter featuring Lil Uzi Vert. As always, you can listen to all these tracks. They're available on our Spotify playlist, and you can watch all the videos to them on our YouTube playlist, and you can see if you agree or disagree with us. That is the news. That is the reviews done for 2021, our first episode. We are running out of time. So, do we want to just go straight into What's Your Order?
Have we been going for this long?
Yeah, because we spoke a lot during the news because it was such big news stories.
Oh yeah, the news was quite long.
I knew that would sort of happen because I'm fucking psychic. Do we want to do What's Your Order, or do we want to chat about some shit?
Let's do What's Your Order now, and then if there's stuff to talk
curtail.
about, yeah, we can just finish
Look,
off.
I'm done. Pav, take the reins.
Thank
until
you,
I
Wade,
come
thank
back.
you.
Your order. What's
You're
your
welcome.
order? Tell me what's your order. Ooh. Yes, we are back, motherfuckers. I'm gonna make that at some point.
You know, mate. You do it every
Joe,
week
what?
anyway.
Do it.
Yeah, it's just so
True.
much easier. Just don't even have to open Logic. Like, I'm just hearing it. What's your order this week, Greg's? Greg's is a deepness, you know. I feel like this one might be the one that splits us all. I thought it was going to be pineapple on pizza at one point. And then it turned out to be vegetable biryani,
It's
which
the
fucking really
greatest
riled up
dish
the
you can order.
masses.
But yeah, we'll brush over that.
I'm happy the sitar shut.
Okay,
mate.
I mean, you
Don't
have to
worry.
get. Why'd you have to get personal like that? I mean, you went for the personal thing straight away.
If they sell the fact that they sell that is why I'm happy they're shut. That's the thing.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, Greg's. There's a lot of options here. Realistically, I think we said this before. Might have been. Was it off pod or on pod? Don't even know now. It's been so long. No one's ordering one thing. It's a fact. You go into Greg's, like, if I've got a £5 in my pocket and I walk into Greg's, I'm spending the £5. Like, it's just how it goes. Just let me know what you get. Like, I get the same thing almost every time. But Chris, you go first, mate. Let's see what you get.
Back in school, they were my prime Greg's days. I still love Greg's. I still go in Greg's. Sometimes stop off for a 1 sausage roll, but that's rare. Normally, as you said, you go in, you have £5. That's all gone. That is all gone, and you know it. Straight up, pepperoni pizza slice. Sometimes 2.
Yes.
Straight up, it's weirdly nice.
If they're fresh, you
get 2.
Yeah.
When they say we've run out, but we've got some in the oven, do you guys wait, or what do you do?
That basically says, yeah, wait. Like,
Yeah.
they're basically
I don't
what
always
they're
wait.
saying to you is, impatient guy.
I know.
Why would you not wait? You wait 20 minutes for Domino's. Wait 5 minutes for Greg's.
But I'm actually in the Greg's. That's the thing. I think the best time to get them is when they've just come out the oven. If you arrive when they've just that is
Yeah,
the
I mean,
optimum time.
Cheers, Sherlock.
No, but it's important because it's just amazing. So yeah, normally one.
I feel like the best time to get the food is when it's actually ready. Yeah.
When it's
You know
fresh.
what I mean? If you walk in, it's like the last slice and it's cold and it's nah.
Oh yeah.
anyway.
But they sell them for £1 now. You know. You know, if it's anything after like 3:30 or something, everything's just like a quid. If it's not already a
I
quid.
know what I'm doing when the global pandemic's over. So 1 or 2 slices of pepperoni pizza, steak slice, pasty. What do they call it? I think they call it a steak slice, don't they?
A steak
bake.
There you go.
You
Love it.
Greg's noob.
That or the I think sausage and beans slice.
sausage and bean melt.
That's it. Yeah, I think one or the other.
Fucking slice. Where's this slice shit coming from, man?
That's what they do call it. A steak
Nothing
slice.
has been called a slice. Nothing has been called a slice there except for like a cheesecake
I thought
slice.
they called it a
Let's-
steak slice.
let's let him just do his order.
So one of the two.
Yeah.
Normally do go for a coffee as well because I like my coffee. Obviously a sausage roll as well. And that's it. I never really go for the like the sandwiches or anything like that, to be honest. It's normally like that selection. Not that exciting, to be honest, but it's normally that's what I get.
Oh.
Time to rate it then, yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
That's like
pretty standard order.
It's like a 4, but I've never had a steak bake, so I can't judge how good it is.
Mate. They're really good.
I give it a 4. I have had a steak bake and they are good.
They're banging.
I'm trying to think. Well, you'll know what I change when I do mine. Wade, what you in?
Okay, I go for... I'm just going to tell you everything I fucking order from there because sometimes they don't have stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of times certain Greggs might not have like one thing or like that happens regularly.
I don't order all of this at the same time. Maybe I fucking do, but don't judge me. Vegan sausage roll.
No, wrong.
Yes,
lost already.
Don't fucking care what you say. I prefer them to normal sausage rolls just because I think they're less greasy. Yeah. So vegan
Cheers,
sausage
guys.
roll.
Thanks for listening to the first and last episode of No Drinks in the Booth 2021.
Pav, fuck off. Let me finish. Vegan sausage roll. Shout out all my vegans. It's vegan, yeah, all that. Good for you. Vegan sausage roll, sausage and bean melt. The mixed vegetable slice. That's banging. If you've never had it, it's really nice. Steak bake, pepperoni pizza slice. Yum yum. Coke.
Mad.
It could be a combination of all of them things, or
basically, if he's got a £5 and whatever the £5 covers he buys, and if he's got a £10, whatever the £10 buys, which is all of it, that's basically what happens.
No, because the Greggs near me, I'll be completely honest with you, does not always have all of them things at one time.
Yeah, so, I'm with you.
So I have to like mix and match. Sometimes I'm getting a sausage and bean melt and a mixed vegetable melt. Sometimes I'm getting a steak bake. Sometimes I'm getting a fucking yum yum. Sometimes I'm just getting a Coke and 2 vegan sausage rolls. It's the Greggs near me is very popular. Yeah, it gets hectic. Yeah,
yum yum.
So long story short, whatever they have, if I like it, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Oh well, thank you for telling us the concept of a shop.
I'm going to rate my own order 5 out of fucking 5.
I mean, if you don't rate your own order 5 out of 5, like, there's no point doing the order.
Mate, my order basically is everything Greggs do.
Yeah.
So.
That's good. I don't, you saying about the yum yum. I don't really go for the sweet side of Greggs, so I'm giving it 4 out of 5 drinks. 5 out of 5. Are we doing calling it drinks? No, that's just for the music. No, 4 out of 5. I give it.
You could give it 4 out of 5 drinks.
Wait, this rating systems on this podcast are getting complicated. 4 out of 5.
Mate, have you?
I give it 4 out of 5 uncooked pizzas, but like if they were cooked, maybe it'd be like 3 because they're higher value. Like there's an exchange rate of ratings here.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, them yum yums are really nice if you have them warm.
Okay. I mean, I don't really have that much of a sweet tooth, so I might try it. I don't know, but yeah, 4 out of 5 drinks.
Yeah, but maybe you should.
It would have been a 5, except for the fact you order a vegan sausage roll. It's literally the only one that's pissing me off too much.
Have you ever had the vegan sausage roll?
No, because I have respect for my mouth.
There you go. So go fuck yourself, because it's actually nicer than the normal sausage roll.
That's not true.
Try, but you don't know. You've never had it. Try one and come back to me.
Actually, no, I did have a bite of one.
No, you're fucking lying.
No,
you definitely didn't.
I'm telling you, I did.
He didn't have a bite. I'm telling
you, I did
a minute ago. Did he? He's had one.
No,
did you
exactly.
See it? Did you see it? I didn't see it.
Nah, that's a stone cold.
I have had a bite. And
that's a stone cold liar. Don't care what you say. Pav, whatever your order is, I cannot believe it now because you've lied.
Oh, cheers. Right. Oh, you see, Greggs again. Such a hard one. If they've got it, I'm getting the spicy meatball and cheese sandwich, which they heat up. That's a big flex. That one is. If it's a cold morning.
Oh, they never have that at my Greggs.
Oh, they do because the Greggs that I go to a lot of the time is like by my unit. So we're going like before a gig, like traveling somewhere. So it's like 6 a.m. when they open. It's in a petrol station and they open from 4:30 till 11 p.m. Like 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Which is great because everything's always fresh in there. So yeah, if that's there, I'll get that. Generally, they don't have that. So I'll get, and I do generally always order this much, I will get the ham and cheese sandwich because then I can get the Dr. Pepper for like 20p, which I do order, Dr. Pepper.
Great drink.
I'll get a chicken bake, preferably fresh, because when they're fresh, I will order multiple just because they're fresh, and so other people can't have them. Because I was there at the right time.
It's like limited edition, isn't it? You're just like, fuck you, I
That's
got
exactly
it, you
what
didn't.
it is.
Yeah.
And then I do remember once waiting for some Greg's chicken bakes, and he was like, "Do you want to wait 5 minutes? Like they're gonna come out fresh." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll wait." And I just bought all of them. I just bought like 12 chicken bakes, took them home, and I was just like eating them during the day.
Was you just like just throw it all in a bag? Cheers, mate.
Yeah, literally, I was like, "Yeah, you see that? Can I take the tray as well?" Like that was the level that we got to. Chicken bake is a big one for me. It has to be chicken bake. But honourable shout out to the old ham and cheese pasty that they used to do, because they don't do that anymore.
That was nice.
And that's really sad because that was my go-to, because I'm not a cheese and onion fan. Don't like cheese and onion pasty. It's not for me. What else am I going for? I don't really sausage roll. It's not one for me. But I do go pepperoni slice if available. Just because of banger. And then I also order the bacon and cheese wrap. Don't know if you guys have had that.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
The bacon and cheese wrap. The bacon and cheese wrap's like one of them. It's one of them like
they call it a twist,
like
don't they? They call it a twist.
No, they call it a wrap.
Oh, maybe something
They call it a wrap.
about. Okay, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's good.
Yeah, you're having a bit of a Mary, Chris, aren't you? Oh, they call it it's a slice. Like, yeah. What else to order? Oh, and then if I'm like feeling extra peckish, I will get one of those donuts with the sprinkles on them.
Nice.
Or if they've got a nice gingerbread man, I might just flex. But yeah, that's my order. Would you rate it, guys?
I'll give it a 4. If you threw a vegan sausage roll, I'd give it a 5.
Oh wow!
I'll give it a 5.
respect
It's good.
for that, so-
I'd definitely eat that.
Oh, cheers, Chris. Nice to know one of us is true to the pod.
Oof.
Thanks.
Yeah, and that's definitely me.
Wow.
What just happened to Chris? He just like I don't know, something went wrong with him.
Look, it's 2021. I mean, I was going to make a point there, but it makes no sense. So sorry, Wade. Continue.
Fair enough. I'd like to point out Greg's is a really good one because you might not have this. You might. I have Greg's products in my freezer.
Yes. Oh my god. From Iceland, yeah?
Yes.
Oh
Shout
my
out
God.
Iceland.
Bro, I actually had a beef with my sister during the first lockdown because she bought some chicken bakes. And I got really drunk one night and there's like 4 in a pack and I just macked. I was like, there was no point turning on the oven, spending all that lecky money to eat one, to see all 4. Like I was smashed. It was the house party days when you were like drinking half a bottle of whiskey with your mates. Yeah, I went through that. Just ate all these these fucking chicken bakes, and like in the morning she was like, "What the fuck?" And like she was like proper upset with me. I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And she was like, "They literally don't have stock for like another 3 months because they've been sold out." And like I just about got these, and I was like, "Wow, unlucky, mate. I fucking maybe next time."
My stepbrother lives on a diet of freezer Greg's, like the ones from Iceland, of sausage rolls, sausage and bean melts. All
They're
sorts
so
of
good.
shit. He loves them, but I can understand why he loves them because they're very good. Like I got my mixed vegetable bakes, which are really good from the oven. Shout out to Iceland for providing that great service. Thank you, Iceland.
Yeah, it was a big flex.
Sorry, just to butt in. What's next week's What's Your Order?
I think next week we haven't Burger King yet, have we?
No, Chris, you need to get
Is
a Burger King.
open? Okay.
Yes.
I'll do a Burger King.
Burger King just changed their logo. It was
They
deep.
did. They
Burger
did,
King's
yeah.
looking flash
So it was-
nowadays. They used to be like a dive, and now they're looking
Nah,
plush,
Burger
mate.
King's I have to say, pre next week's pod, I rate Burger King more than McDonald's.
You're one of
by
those
far.
ones. I don't know.
Their burgers are very good. Look,
Their
Chris,
burgers are much better. Their
Chris, you
nuggets are better.
Chris, you need to get a Burger King before next week's
Done.
podcast.
Chris, do you generally beef burger or chicken
Beef,
burger?
normally.
beef burger, get like a I normally
Whopper.
get like a Whopper or like a bacon double cheeseburger is very nice. They basically do about 10 beef burgers that are kind of the same, except instead of normally, you know, when you go to like Macca's and you're like, oh, can I have a Big Mac without this, this, and this? They basically have all the selections already, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
I also do highly recommend the Chicken Royale Double because that's banging. Also called the long chicken everywhere else. Literally everywhere else in the world is called a long chicken, and that always fucks with my head.
Okay.
Have only you it would do that too. But
It's
I
called
can
a long
understand why.
chicken. Like you
A
go to
long
like France
chicken.
and they're like, yeah, can I have a chicken royale? And they're like, you mean a long chicken? I'm like, you know, like not bottom tier of naming. It's like
Yeah,
it's like a chicken burger but longer. What do we call it?
it's a long chicken.
Yeah, let's go with that.
So, Chris, you need to get something. A meal would be preferable because that is what we're going to rate.
Was anyone else really sad this week when it looked like Dr. Dre was going to die?
Yeah, we didn't even touch on that. But
How
yeah,
sad was that?
well, it was bad. He had a brain aneurysm, which is bad, and then his house got robbed while he was recovering.
Honestly, I was like, remember that bit when we were like semi-joking but also being semi-serious? Like, when we first started the pod and we were like, save Jazzy Jeff, save Dr. Dre, save A-Track. I feel like we're onto a bit of a losing streak here already.
Well, Dre's not dead, thank God, and he's recovering well.
Yeah, he's looking good.
I wish him the best of health.
Maybe with this life-changing event, he might drop an album. Like maybe he's got like that. Maybe he's got like that many unreleased tunes, and he's like, oh, you know what? Like, I could be near the end. Let me like hit these for release. Which would be great for us because we need more Dr. Dre. Guys release like 3 albums ever.
He's going to release an
We do
album. It's
need
going to
more
sound
Dr.
like
Dre.
Playboy Carti beats. That's what it's going to sound like.
Nah.
Nah.
I hope he's just got like unreleased cuts of him and Snoop Dogg from like 1995. Like that's what I need.
I need Dre in my life. Okay, we're coming up to sort of our time now. So do we have anything else you want to talk about? Because we have got about 5 minutes. If not, I can wrap it up.
No.
WAP was the biggest played song this year, but by far. Do you see like the fucking? Have you seen the numbers?
You mean for 2020?
2020, same thing. Going into 2021. A big thing about that was that. Have you guys seen that video of Cardi B turning it off when a kid walks in?
Yeah.
And I'm like, trash. I didn't rate that. I
What did
got
she do? Sorry, I missed that.
I rated that. So she was playing WAP, and her little girl walked in, so she turned it off.
Yeah.
But the reason I rate that is because Cardi B obviously makes music for adults, and her child is like 5 or something. I don't know. So like, I wouldn't let my kid listen to it. So
I agree with that, but it's like I agree. She makes that kind of tune, and it is ultimately up to parents to decide whether they can listen to it or not. But it's obviously irresponsible to let your kid listen to that kind of song. That's just a fact. However, it's also the biggest song. Like it was almost double the next song. Like it was that far ahead.
Yeah, but what's your point? Because you said you didn't rate the fact she turned it off when her daughter walked in.
If she's going to do that, which I generally agree with, I wouldn't let my kid listen to it. Is she going to start like, what's the word? Is she going to make what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Is she going to give like an age rating to concerts and stuff where it's like, right, anyone under this age can't come?
But they are.
I know they sort of are to an extent. But like, is it going to get higher? That's what I'm saying.
No, because it's up to the regulator, not the artist. I realise that.
Surely not, though. Surely if she says, oh, well, it has to be under 18 or I'm not, like 18 or over, otherwise I'm not going to do it, they can say...
I'm pretty certain her concerts are 18 or over, though, Pav.
Are they?
You would have thought so.
That makes sense, but...
I'm pretty certain, so...
Now, most venues that I know are normally like 12 or 14.
So, where are we talking? Are you talking about in America or are you talking about over here?
But over here, because no one cares about America. We don't go concerts in America.
You have to be, I think, over 17 to buy the ticket, and you can't be under 17 to go in.
Are you sure? I'm
pretty certain. I don't think she's ever done.
I'm gonna have to have a look at her.
I'll be honest with you.
I don't think. Yeah, she's not done one here.
She's not done one here.
This was when she would have done the tour.
Look, but I don't think you can diss her for what she did with her kid, because I think that's the right thing.
I agree with that.
And equally, she makes music for adults. It ain't like she's making Baby Shark. So
that's true.
Her kid should be listening to that type of stuff, and obviously like Disney songs and kid friendly stuff. She makes music for adults, so I can't diss her.
Yeah,
Can't
she
diss
was
her.
absolutely
Yeah, it's a
right
bit of a
about
half and half. I do agree, but then it goes to that whole conversation again where it's like, when you make songs of that nature with that kind of content, ultimately kids are going to listen to it. So is it necessarily right? Like, does she necessarily have to be that explicit on it?
Listen, it's an explicit song. It's got the explicit warning. She doesn't do concerts for kids, so it's not like, in the nicest way, it's not like, look at Ariana Grande. She made a song called 35 plus 34.
Yeah,
And
that
she-
was. I'll be honest.
And she comes from having a very young following because she come up through the Disney Channel. So Cardi B didn't do shit like that. She come up for a strip club. So
Can I be very honest? 34 plus 35 is fast becoming my favourite song at the moment.
Relatable for you, probably.
That tune is so, like, I listened to it the first time. I was like, oh, you got to listen to this tune. Like, it was on everyone's Insta, all the girls that post like random pics on their Insta stories, and they like post it with a song, and that was the song. And I was like, oh, let me listen to this properly, like just so I know that it's shit. And I listened to it, and I was like, oh my god, this is like quite a good song, but I don't want to like it. Like, almost like embarrassed to like it. And then about 4 listens in, I was on a walk, and I was like, this song is like really well produced and amazingly written.
I've just got visions in my head of girls like 12 to 13 years old or whatever, and then they're like listening to that song, and then like the parents walk in and she's like, oh, it's only Ariana Grande, and then the parents are like horrified because they knew she was listening like when Ariana Grande, from when she was doing like the more fluffy pop stuff, like Focus, Breakthrough,
when she was doing Thank You Next,
even before that, like,
yeah.
And I've just got visions of like, these like young girls listen to it and the parents just like horrified. I'm sure that's happening, but yeah.
I think Ariana Grande sits in that perfect pocket of hip hop music.
Yeah, but I think with 34,
because it's not hip hop
pushing it,
and it's not pop. Have you listened to much of that album? Like, seriously, like when we're off pod, have a listen to that album.
It's good.
I don't know who's produced it. It's a really, really good album, and it's just that. Like, you see so many like random artists jump on hip hop stuff, and you're like, oh, why? Like, is it DaBaby's on Levitating, Dua Lipa, and you're like, that's wrong because it's neither in one world or another. It's obviously like a dance disco-y tune, and they've just chucked you on. Ariana Grande's gone the opposite, where she's got that. It's hip hop music just made with pop instruments, and it sounds wicked. I genuinely like
she's
it.
Number 1 artist on Spotify right now, so deserved.
And she deserves it.
what has 2021 done to Pav? He's turned into our
Ariana Grande fan.
Let's wrap the podcast up. Anything you want to add very quickly at the end?
Big shouts to vegan sausage rolls, and that's it from me.
Nah.
At the end, I think Wade is frozen.
I'll wrap the podcast up because
honestly, you wrap the podcast up. He's back.
Wade's actually frozen. Oh, he's back.
I thought
Okay,
Pat was going to have to wrap it up. Sorry, Wade, wrap it up because you just froze.
Yeah, you just froze as well. So this is a perfect time to end the podcast. Okay, as always, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts and Google for all the podcasts. Make sure you listen back to all them classics. We've got pretty much a year's worth of them. Big shout out to my friend James who actually did that, so shout out to him. And as always, you can listen to all the tracks we spoke about in the reviews on our Spotify playlist and our YouTube playlist. Watch the videos, listen to the music. We much appreciate it. That's our first podcast of 2021 done. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.